Most people visit Bana Hills for one reason, the famous Golden Bridge. But what many don't realize is, this place is much bigger, more complex, and much easier to get wrong than it looks. Even with a good plan, there are still small things that can quietly ruin the experience, and most people only realize them after it's too late. So before you go, here are 10 things tourists wish they knew that can completely change your experience. The time you visit matters more than most people expect. Most tourists arrive in the morning, and this is also when it's most crowded. If you go early, on the very first cable car, you can visit the Golden Bridge before the crowds arrive. From around 7:30 a.m., visitors are already reaching the bridge. But from around 9 a.m. onwards, the crowds start to build quickly, especially with tour groups. But by late morning, the sun can feel quite harsh, especially in open areas with very little shade. Even though the temperature here is lower than in the city, the direct sunlight and lack of large trees can make it feel more intense and tiring than you might expect. If you don't want to wake up early, the afternoon feels completely different. From around 3 p.m., crowds start to thin out, and around 5 to 6 p.m., at certain times of the year, especially in late winter and early spring, you might even see clouds forming below the bridge. Crowd levels also vary depending on the time of year and the day of the week. During spring and summer, especially on weekends, holidays, or during local promotions, crowds can be very large. But on weekdays, especially from Monday to Thursday, it can feel significantly quieter. In contrast, winter is usually much less crowded as the weather tends to be colder and often rainy. The cable car system here can shape your entire experience, and most people don't realize that. First, the ride itself can feel more intense than you might expect. Each ride usually lasts around 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the route. For many visitors, the most intense moments happen right after leaving the station and just before arriving. It can feel similar to a plane during takeoff or landing. Some people find it easier to look up instead of down, and if you're prone to motion sickness or dizziness, you might feel uncomfortable, especially after a long day of walking. That's why you'll often see sickness bags inside the cabin, just in case. But that's not the only thing. Bana Hills doesn't have just one cable car route. There are multiple lines, and each one takes you to a different area. So choosing the wrong line can completely change your experience. If your goal is to see the Golden Bridge early, the most direct route is the Hoi An, Marseille cable car. And if you're staying overnight, there's a dedicated cable car route that takes you directly to the hotel area with support for your luggage. And one thing many people worry about is the waiting time. Even during busy times, waiting for the cable car is usually not as long as you might expect. Because there are multiple cable car lines, staff often redirect visitors to less crowded routes. So in many cases, the wait is only around 10 to 15 minutes. There is also a priority ticket that lets you skip the line, but in many cases you may not actually need it. And finally, timing matters. In the evening, cable cars don't run continuously. After around 6 p.m., they operate on fixed schedules. So if you miss one, you might have to wait 30 minutes or more, often with many other visitors. A lot of visitors come mainly to see the Golden Bridge, but once they arrive, they quickly realize Bana Hills is far bigger than they imagined. It's not just one place, it's a series of areas spread across the mountain. There are gardens and temples, wide open plazas, castle-like buildings, a French-style village, and plenty of restaurants, plus indoor and outdoor attractions. And moving between them takes time, by walking, or even by taking another cable car. Exploring everything here can easily take an entire day. In fact, if you only visit for one day, you'll probably experience around 60 to 70% of the whole complex. And that's why how you plan your time here makes a big difference. So don't try to see everything. Focus on what actually matters to you. Because Bana Hills is so large, it's actually very easy to lose track of where you are. So one simple thing that can make your visit much easier is to pick up a map. There are free paper maps available near the cable car entrance, and it's more useful than you might think. Even though there are large maps placed around the resort, they can be hard to follow once you're actually walking. I've even seen visitors already inside the French village still trying to find the Golden Bridge just because they didn't have a map. So it's a small thing, but it can save you a lot of time and confusion. The Golden Bridge isn't at the entrance, and it's not at the top either. It's located in a separate area partway up the mountain. If you take the Hoi An to Marseille cable car, you'll arrive very close to the bridge, just a short walk away. But after visiting the bridge, most people continue to other areas, usually by taking another cable car to the French village. Some visitors do the opposite, especially in the afternoon. They explore the French village first, then visit the Golden Bridge later before heading down. Most tourists visit Bana Hills during the day, but after the day visitors leave, the atmosphere becomes much quieter and more peaceful. As the lights turn on in the French-style village, the whole place starts to feel like a small mountain town. And when the temperature drops at night, it almost feels like Dalat, right in the middle of Da Nang. That's why some travelers choose to stay overnight, not just to avoid the crowds, but to experience a completely different side of Bana Hills and maybe wake up early to catch the clouds in the morning. And that's a side most visitors never get to see. One of the biggest surprises about Bana Hills is the weather. On clear days, the cable car offers incredible views across the mountains, but on foggy or rainy days, you might not see much at all. Sometimes the entire landscape disappears into clouds. It can feel like you're walking above the sky, or sometimes walking inside it. And that's part of what makes Bana Hills so unique, but also unpredictable. Food here is significantly more expensive than in the city below. Many visitors choose the buffet, and it's often very crowded, especially with tour groups. For some travelers, this is a convenient option. But for others, especially families or those trying to manage their budget, it may not always feel worth it. There are also smaller restaurants serving Western and Asian dishes, but prices can still be quite high. And then there are simpler options that many people overlook. For example, there's a lotteria right in the French village. Meals there start from around 55,000 Vietnamese dong, which is only slightly higher than in the city. So depending on your travel style, this can be a much more practical option. There's a cinema area that many visitors completely overlook. It's located a bit further away from the French village, and many people don't even realize it exists. In fact, I only discovered it on my 6th visit. You can get there by taking the mountain train, which is actually an experience on its own, with beautiful views over the valley. This area is also a great place to take a break around midday, especially when the sun feels harsh. Many visitors choose to rest in Fantasy Park or here to avoid the heat. There are 2 4D cinemas. One is more intense, with fast movement, drops, and roller coaster-like scenes. If you're sensitive to motion, it can feel quite overwhelming. The other one, on the upper floor, is much gentler. It feels more like a floating journey through clouds and landscapes, much easier to enjoy. So depending on your comfort level, it's worth choosing carefully. Most tourists get there by taxi, ride-hailing apps, private cars, or even motorbikes, but there's also a public bus that many visitors don't know about. It departs from a station right next to the airport and picks up passengers along the way before going straight to the parking area near the entrance. The ticket costs only around 30,000 Vietnamese dong for a journey of nearly 30 kilometers, making it one of the most affordable ways to get there. It even allows children under 1.2 meters to travel for free. Buses run roughly every 30 minutes, and the journey takes about 45 minutes. Going up can be crowded, especially on weekends, holidays, or during promotions. On weekdays, it's usually much quieter. But in the evening, especially around 6 to 7 p.m., the return trip is often very empty, as most visitors have already left. Tour groups usually travel by private coaches, and many domestic visitors head down earlier in the afternoon. And finally, a few small but useful things that can make your visit easier. You can bring luggage onto the cable car. There's no strict limit on size or number of bags, but staff may guide you on how to place larger suitcases. If you're not staying overnight, there's also free luggage storage near the ticket counter at the entrance. It's open from 8 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Strollers and wheelchairs can also be brought up easily. And one more small thing, multi-day tickets are linked to your face, so they can't be shared. Those were 10 things tourists wish they knew before visiting Ba Na Hills. If you've been here before, what surprised you the most? And if you're planning a trip to Da Nang, you probably already have a pretty clear picture of what Ba Na Hills feels like. But here's something interesting. Not everyone who comes to Da Nang ends up choosing Ba Na Hills. Some travelers are drawn instead to places that feel quieter, closer to nature, and just a little slower. So if you're deciding between Ba Na Hills and the Marble Mountains, you might want to take a look at that comparison before you decide.